Hello, everyone. Welcome to Life in Transition. This is Shanta Gabriel, and I'm here on Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, which is a real new place for me to be. And I know that there are a lot of us out there that are having major transitions in their outer world as well as their inner world. So we are real close to the 11:11 moment. So we're going to begin with walking through the gateways of the 11:11 um, portal. This portal allows us to make our intentions on this side and then walk through this etheric gateway that is holding the ability to bring our intentions into fruition. So think about what you really love to experience on the outside of your on the other side of your gateway. And as we do that, we're inviting the archangels. We're inviting those master teachers that work with all of us to come and be present in this amazing time. So as we begin, we'll call in the archangels of the 11:11 gateway. We have Archangel Gabriel on the left. Archangel Hope is with him too. Archangel Michael is on the other side. Archangel Uriel, the angel of light, is also there. So we have this masterful, amazing opportunity. So I will start with the intentions that as we walk through this gateway, we each receive the guidance, the wisdom, and the clarity that we need to thrive in this new time that is changing so quickly. As we walk through this gateway, we know that we are supported and guided and empowered in this moment to live life in a new way that brings to us more clarity, more calm, more peace in our hearts, more ability to flow with change, more freedom to be our true and most divine selves. As we walk through this gateway, we connect with that most divine aspect of ourselves and we incorporate it into our physical being. Feel yourself as you take this step, walking into the gateway through that portal to the other side in the light of peace, grace, wisdom, harmony, love, compassion, courage, and well-being. We anchor these in our new space on the other side of this portal so that we might be a clear and worthy channel for our highest soul's expression in the world right now. Take a deep breath and breathe it into your heart. And now we anchor that and let it go. Here we are. I'm welcoming all of you to this life in transition moment. Everyone that I know, and I'm sure that you've experienced it also, there is a huge, massive transition in process on the earth. It's been prophesied from thousands of years. Most all of the native peoples, all the indigenous peoples all over the world talked about this particular time that we're in. It's a time where there's more opportunities, there's more challenges, there's more openings for life to transpire in a whole new way. So one of the things that we're having happen today, this is the full moon. It just happened about an hour ago. or a couple of hours ago. And it also is in this world where I live, Halloween, which is a really interesting time. And what it talks about is Samhain, this very ancient um, time when the veils are very thin. So we have access to our divinity. We have access to our guidance, our spiritual resources. We have access to those beams of light that are guiding and directing our lives right now. And we are not alone. That no matter what it feels like, we have a very powerful and strong guidance system that is working with us specifically for this time. Because when we were souls before we came into this physical being, we were, perhaps this is the kind of conversation we were given. Would you like to come to a place that is transforming into the most evolved time in history, where you can be an agent of change, where you, in your heart, you are a catalyst for new life? Would you be on the cutting edge of this new reality and bring it and anchor it onto the earth? And all of us, if you're here, you did, you said, yes, sign me up. That is exactly what I need. I want to be on the cutting edge. I want to be one of the first people in the world to ever experience divinity in a body, physical form, and anchor it on the earth for the highest good of all. And then we get down here and find out that it may not look at all like we were imagining, just because, before we got in a body, we were so able to connect with others psychically, through our hearts. We communicated in different ways, so there was no misunderstandings about what we meant, and other people were in our hearts and understood what we were saying. And it's been nothing like that since we got here. Unfortunately, there's many of us that have been here for a number of decades and have been helping to bushwhack through this somewhat perilous adventure of living on earth when you had nobody that understood you, that your ideas and your belief systems were not shared at all. And now there's more and more and more of us. There's millions of people that could be what you'd call light bearers of a heart-centered consciousness. That's what we're here for, to anchor heart-centered consciousness on the earth. And because that hasn't been the intention of most of the people on the earth, it's been a little bit of a challenge to do that. But now here we are, and we can really make a difference. All that we believe, all of our intentions, all our prayers, they are making a huge difference for people on the earth and for ourselves. We look at this world and we look at this time, and especially if you're in the US right now, this is a very intense, scary time for a lot of people. And so one of the ways that we are here to assist that process, because we are Wayshores, we are holding light and frequencies for a higher state of consciousness and an awakening on the planet. And so one of the ways we do that is just with our intentions and our focus of intention. Our focus of intention. I mean, it's this refined state of consciousness. And we're here in this awakened, we're in the greatest awakening that humanity has ever experienced in history. and we didn't get any, we didn't get any instructions. We didn't get a manual. so, so then we're figuring it out. And we are also interacting with others to boost our morale, to boost our ability to transmit these frequencies, to hold these frequencies and stay more in our hearts, because we have we have others that feel the same way, that we have people that are working in the same realms and awakening to the same um, realities that we are finding in this transitional time. It's new every day. So you think about, even IKEA sends out directions. you know, they might not be in the body in the language that we speak, but there are directions. So listening to the ancient masters, that's helpful. Working in groups like this so that we can support each other, that's incredibly helpful. And recognizing that we live in a quantum field of pure potential, that the wonderful physics people brought into our awareness that there are opportunities that we've never had before, that we have, the veils have thinned to the place that we have access to this quantum field through our thoughts, through our prayers, through our ability to hold intentions, raise our frequencies, and live from a greater place of excitement, optimism, uh, claiming of the new reality. That is where we are, and that's what we're here to experience. The best way that we can actually take part in this awakening time is through divine neutrality. This state of neutrality where you kind of raise yourself above what is obvious in front of you, what appears to be so disruptive, chaotic, challenging, and honor that, recognize that, acknowledge that, and then expand your heart, expand beyond that, and know that there is greater opportunity in that expanded field. That what you focus on and where you put your attention brings into fruition those actual things. When you stay strong there, you keep coming back to what needs to the frequency that you need to hold. So everything has frequencies, and as you know, so the frequencies of a waterfall, of when you're in nature, those frequencies can lift your whole energy system. And so we want to work with that energy system that allows us to feel uplifted, that we might be in a little bit of wonder and awe, that sort of sweet, childlike intelligence that is curious, that is willing, that is ready to play in new realms. Those thoughts, those intentions, those attitudes really make a big difference. And so that's what we can feel supported in, and know that that's the truth for us too. So I invite you to go ahead, and if you have a question, you can put it into the chat, and Dickon will take care of that. And it's good because it gives me, a little bit of focus on where it is that you want to talk today, so that I'm not all over the map with that. So we are the ones that are anchoring this state of divine consciousness. It's the refinement that we have on the earth right now is still in process, obviously, because about 30 some odd years ago, um, whenever 1987 was, that was when the harmonic convergence came into our awareness for most people. It was the completion of a 26,000 year cycle and another 13,000 year cycle also, that would bring in this golden age of Aquarius, or a golden age of harmony, a golden age of cooperation, a golden age of well-being and support. And that is what we are actually anchoring and bringing to the planet so that it will transpire. And since there's enough people who are actually focused on this, it's really going to happen. It's really going to happen. And back in the harmonic convergence on August 16th and 17th, 1987, they talked about how in the next till 2012, there was going to be an increase in light. And that was going to be the cause of change. That was going to be the catalyst that would change everything as we know it. So that began at that time, and it just kept continuing and continuing, and it's still continuing to this day. And this divine light that is flooding the planet right now has divine guidance. It has this infinite intelligence within it, as well as divine love. A huge input of energy and a very, very high frequency that affects all it comes into contact with. So that's where we are. That's what we've been experiencing, is all of that level of change. We're bringing this energy of a more feminine state of being. It's not women per se, but in that energy of the divine feminine is receptive. It's inspiring, it's empowering, it is creative. And so we are in receptivity to that. We are open. All you do is open your heart for that one and allow it to come into fruition in your own life. So this divine feminine absolutely knows the way to bring us into a state of consciousness that harmonizes our ability to do what we came here to do, to bring our soul gifts, our soul expression into the world. And that's this huge, amazing opportunity now.
We have a question, Shanta, if you're interested.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah. So we have from Mona. She asked, would you speak on radical trust and how that supports us when we are willing to move on from what we know doesn't work anymore, but we have no idea what or where the future unfoldment is?
Thank you, Mona. I love that. So there is a rune that is like ancient oracle, an ancient oracle from the Celtic tradition called the runes, and they are thousands of years old. And there's one of them that I got at a moment in the I think it was in the 1990s. There was a time when my whole kind of life sort of collapsed and I had to start over again. And that was when I was 56, which is right about the time of your Saturn return. When you're 29 or 28 and 55 or 6, you notice that there are life transformative things that happen. And so when I was feeling that, and I was asking the question, I had a rune, and what the rune said was, rely therefore on radical trust, even if it means leaping empty-handed into the void. So that is such a powerful statement because we're in a completely new, unknown time. And if we can trust that we came here for a purpose, that we are in receipt of our guidance, and just trust that we will know moment to moment what to do, where to go, who to ask, those kinds of things. It allows us to be much more resourceful, because if we look at the unknown and we project a problem, because many people are scared of the unknown, and this is a huge opportunity to really change your outlook. I figure we have a 50-50 chance of being fearful or fulfilled. You know, that our beginning time is really opening to a time of faith, of trust, of hope in the future, and recognizing that we are creating that with our thoughts, that we're here, we're in the process of doing that one. I'm just going to put this up just a little bit more. So radical trust becomes our strengthener. It helps us to just take it and allow the change to occur. This just happens to be one of that particular rune I got just a few months ago. On my birthday, on July 6th, I was told by my landlords that their daughter was going to move into my house, so that I needed to move. The person who lives in this house is a friend of mine from 45 years ago. So we have been very, very close. We've had the same spiritual practice for 45 years. So we have a very strong relationship. She invited me to come and stay in her cottage and rent her cottage. And I could be on Martha's Vineyard instead of Mount Shasta. So I took a room, guess what it was? Rely therefore on radical trust, even if you have to leap empty-handed into the void. And so it takes courage as well as trust, to actually follow through on that kind of guidance. And trust and faith are and courage. Those are the ways that we will make it through all of that's happening right now. And it's you keep hearing this unprecedented time, and I read this, I heard this one person say, I really want the precedented times back, but we're not going to have it. That's not going to happen. This 2020 is a game changer. You may have noticed. And it's like the energy has completely changed and shifted. We're not the same people we were when we started this year. That all of the astrology and the different things that have gone on have really created a whole new energetic reality for us to be in. So things can actually flow easier if we allow it, if we stay in alignment with that higher self that is working through us, and we stay in that core alignment and we stay grounded, recognizing that we need to be connected to this earth, that this is our new platform. This is our base of reality, and we live in well-being. And even the chakra system, when the first chakra, people always talk about survival issues and that. And yeah, it has however, it's been uplifted, as all of our chakras have, as our whole energy system has been uplifted. So that we have actually an ability to be much more open to change and flow, and allowing the new energy to work through us and ground a different kind of experience. So the base chakra now becomes more about well-being as a focus than survival. So if we were living in well-being, all our needs would be met. We would feel that we had the energy and the direction and everything else that we needed in order to really thrive in a new time. And so this is such a different way of us taking care of ourselves and working on the earth. Then it's important to stay as much as possible in well-being. So that means resting when we need to, drinking more water, perhaps eating food that supports us, and taking the time that we require for exercise, for being in nature, for having fun, for doing things that uplift our energy system. So staying as uplifted as possible, staying as optimistic as we can, and taking care of us as a body, as our emotional system. Everything that we can do to support ourselves right now is important. Listening to music that works for us and spending time in nature, all of those things to just keep shifting back into that alignment, shifting back into harmony, shifting back into optimism and opportunity. This is how we are able to thrive in this time. And not surprisingly, this also boosts our immune system. So staying healthy is creating a strong immune system, and everything that we can do to keep our immune system strong and healthy and vibrant. It's also what keeps our spiritual self healthy and vibrant and thriving. So it all is working together right now. So it might take turning away from what it is that we don't want to experience, and intending what we want to have as our experience. How do we want to feel when, by the end of the day, how do we want to experience our new opportunities today? What does our soul want us to know today? That is always a good question for the morning. And I took a card for us. This is a Gabriel message card. These are the cards that came through me, and I believe were inspired by Archangel Gabriel. And so this is about ways of having creative solutions, and shifting our consciousness is using things like oracles, the runes, um, opening a book that inspires you, and finding a passage that you might be able to think about all day, and attune your consciousness to it. These are all really important tools, simple tools, very basic things that everybody knows. And this is the time that we need to apply them. Where the energy is so strong that we're actually using all of our spiritual tools. All of us are. Everything we've ever learned, everything that we've ever known supports us. That's what we're using for this time. So this card says, praise God and praise yourself for the path you have chosen. Recognizing that you chose a very amazing and interesting path, and it is a path of transformation. It's a path of new beginnings. And that's where we are right now. And it's a really powerful time to remember that, and be grateful. Gratitude, bring gratitude into your heart. That's an amazing time to be on the earth and be able to work in a way that supports new life all around us. Are there any more questions or comments, Dickon?
There are. Okay, so here we have from Kathy Garland. She says, certainly having the physical challenges this year, vibrational noise in my head, connecting it with the waves of energies, hoping that the December 21st alignment will anchor all this energy and the body will be adapted. And then from Kathy with a C, she says, hi, Dickon. My question is, has Shanta heard Lee Harris' latest energy report for November? Could she please talk about how November is going to be a month of healing for all, and it's important to have compassion and patience? Thank you.
Well, actually, I haven't heard Lee's November energy report, but I recommend Lee Harris and his energy reports every single month. I haven't had a chance to do that, but there's a lot of extenuating circumstances for right now, like no internet, things like that. So I haven't listened, but Lee Harris Energy is a wonderful place. And he's been right on. You know, he told us that this was going to be a year that was going to be like no other. And we, not only he told us, but everyone has. I mean, this is, any teacher has been saying the same thing, that is that finding our place of center, finding our ability to feel grounded, to feel connected, to feel in harmony with ourselves, that is very, very helpful. And when we did have an internet, we have today, thank you, I was listening to this interview with the Dalai Lama. It actually was a panel discussion, and the Dalai Lama was just so interesting and interested in science and how the ability to really help to be a helpful person on the earth right now, and how people can best do that. And his one of his main things is loving kindness, you know, and he calls that his religion. And so this is a really excellent idea to remember to give loving kindness to yourself as well as others. And that's usually the place that we forget to be kind. But he was talking to this scientist, and the scientist started telling the Dalai Lama about this new study that was just done. And they were studying chickens. And so they studied the chickens they were trying to create the most resourceful, harmonious, they were trying to study groups. So they were using chickens as their group. And so they went to the chickens that were the most assertive and strong and powerful, and just that strength that was physical as well as emotional. I guess chickens are emotional. That's that personality type, and it did not breed a healthy group. So then they went to study the chickens that lived harmoniously, that were the most peaceful, that had that just they cooperated with each other. And that was the group that thrived the most. And the Dalai Lama said, yes, and that's what humans need too. You know, is the group that cooperates, lives in harmony, recognizing that there is a way of living with others that promotes unity. This is what we are doing right now. And that is what the golden age is all about. That's the new time that we're moving into. It's completely supported energetically. So it's, you know, our part of that is to really stay in connection and harmony with each other and work in groups to do things. This group, just us here, these few people that are just together right in this moment, are actually making a huge change on the planet. And this is our world. This is what we're creating, and we're doing it together. So I know, Dickon, you have something else for me?
I do, yes. Judith asks, could you please speak about the ascension symptoms?
Well,
Where to begin with that one?
where to begin? You know, I know there are a lot of people are becoming more sensitive. The light is refining our energy system. So that creates a huge manifestation of different things. You know, we are more sensitive emotionally. We are you know, people that are very sensitive start to notice that they're not sure if you're experiencing your own emotional state, or is this the state of the people around you. And so that whole refinement of your energy system is also really sensitive to the all the internet and the Wi-Fi's and the, you know, all of the different ways that we get our information. That is also really causing a lot of difficulty for people, physically and emotionally, mentally. You know, so turn off the TV, get completely away from devices and Wi-Fi for a while. And, I, I got to go to Italy last year, and they called it Wi-Fi. I just thought that was really great to get the Wi-Fi working. And so we want to get our own Wi-Fi working on our own alignment with our own system, our own energy that we recognize, we work with, and we know how best to support ourselves through this process. So it really does take attention and the intention to live in well-being and to thrive in the new energy on the planet. And so taking care of the physical body and doing what we need to do for ourselves emotionally and mentally, and finding different ways of supporting energy system. You know, there's things in the ancient Eastern cultures have a lot of support for this, you know, for yoga and hatha yoga and all different forms of yoga, the mantras, the chanting, the study of beautiful uplifting things. In the whole Chinese system, they work on the energy, so that's acupuncture. The healing systems of these ancient cultures are very, very helpful right now. We're ready for that. And so find other ways, alternative ways to really support yourself in this new time. And not to worry when you are experiencing things that are not that you've never experienced before. You know, just to kind of get curious about it, to notice that something's different, and you might want to take a different way of participating with that, and maybe go to an acupuncturist or go to a naturopath or a homeopath or somebody that also can support you on a physical level. It's really helpful. Anything else, Dickon? I just wanted to make sure that I was kind of covering what people wanted to hear too.
For sure. Let me see. No, nothing more. Lindsay's put, I don't know how to pronounce this actually. Ahem Prema, I am the light.
Yeah, that's a.
Is that, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is that correct or not?
Yeah, close enough. So we're here to share the light. We are the light. We're here to share the light. We receive light. We become light. The more light that we bring into our bodies, the more strength we have, the more courage we have, the more we actually allow our sensitivity to become in harmony with the energy around us. And so this becomes a very important thing to know, that for once, and I'll close with this actually. We'll when we get to it, but bringing light is it's just a prayer, inviting the highest source of light to work through your body is something that anybody can do, even, and it just makes such a difference. Archangel Gabriel says that somebody who immerses themselves in light on a daily basis becomes transformed and radiates light, as well as integrates the light, becomes the light on an energetic level. That's what we are, and that's what we're here to do. And I think that even Einstein, I haven't been able to find the quote again exactly, but it was something about all the spaces between ourselves, between our cells, need to be filled with light. He said that we are mostly space. And so those spaces are ready and willing to receive light. And so our ability to attune ourselves and invite light to work in and through us makes a huge difference. It really does allow another level of courage and strength to work for us. I haven't, I just wanted to just kind of look at my notes, because I've just been sort of going right ahead and not doing my new thing. What I really want to say, I want to say really one thing that is really important. We have been seeing a lot of destruction and chaos and violence and all the other ways that life transforms. We've seen that. It continues to be in our faces all over. And what we as a group, this group of light workers all over the world, not necessarily do we know each other, but we know that we came here for a purpose, and that purpose has to do with grounding the light, for bringing the light in, raising the frequencies on the planet and holding that frequencies so others can benefit. So life in this world can benefit. That when we hold a frequency of harmony and cooperation and collaboration and resourcefulness, peace, those are ways that we can bring more compassion to the world. And the world needs compassion more than anything. The Dalai Lama said that was one of the missing pieces in everyone's life is compassion. So having compassion for yourself, for all the changes that you're going through, for the difficulties, for the challenges, for how it looks out in the world, and how you would love to have it appear instead, to accept what is and allow the change to occur as you hold your frequency for the greatest transformation of love in the world ever, the greatest transformation in humanity's history. So be kind to yourself, be soft with yourself, stay in your heart as much as possible. The people from heartmath.org, which is an amazing organization in the San Francisco Bay Area that has studied the heart for over 25 years. And they found out that the heart is so resilient, and that the heart sends sends information to the brain. And so simply by putting our hands on our hearts, we come into what they call a quick coherence. This coherence is with our mental state, it's with our physical state, it's with our emotional state. And so when you stop and we put our hands on our hearts and we allow ourselves to breathe in love and breathe in gratitude for all we've been given, it changes us. And as we change, the world around us changes as well. So no matter what is happening in the world right now, our most important thing is to stay neutral, stay at peace in our hearts, stay grateful for the guidance that we have, for the path that we've chosen, for the freedom that we have to change our outlook and our attitude. That makes everything change around us too. And so it's a very important time for that, an important time to really allow yourself to stay in that divine neutrality. I think that I might actually include that in our closing. So it's like I never know what I'm going to be talking about here today. This wasn't it, but I want to share this tool with you because it is such an important thing. It's made a huge difference for me. So I'm just going to lead you on a little meditation. We're going to close with this meditation now. So just let yourself relax. Let yourself feel at peace. And if you can, bring your hand to your heart and just let yourself feel that sweet, soft heart. It's a really special ability to allow your heart to open, to allow your heart to feel at peace, in harmony, to allow love to spread all through your energy field around your heart. Let your heart expand into that field. Imagine that you have a love from your heart behind you as well as on all sides of you. This heart field is a healing field of love, of divine guidance and inspiration. So as we allow that to lift our energy, you can feel that your energy just got lifted just by that simple thing. We're bringing it all the way up through. We're expressing our soul's gifts through our throat chakra, and we come up into the third eye chakra. So just imagine in this third eye chakra, there is light coming in. You can imagine it. It's called, some people call it indigo. I think it's a lot lighter now because we've been bringing in so much light. There's so much light all around us, flooding our system. And the light is, I think, more of a lavender blue, a very light color. And Archangel Uriel is the angel of light and brings our soul purpose into being. So when you connect in this energy of your third eye, you are also connecting with your soul's blueprint, what you came here to experience and to offer. So we just let that blue light, that blue violet light, that really bright pearlized essence of who you truly are, expand through your third eye. And if you were to take your fingertips and you put it on your temples, you put it in front and back, that place where they intersect, that is your pineal gland. So just imagine that place right in the center of your head. Pineal gland is very, very tiny, and it holds a very strong light of your essence. It's beautiful. It's bright. And when you tune into your pineal gland, you bring yourself a sense of neutrality. Feel that. It's like little kind of bean shaped. So you just kind of focus that right in the middle of your head, that space, that spaciousness. That is your neutrality. That's your neutral state of being, where you have an opportunity to expand and see beyond what your eyes see, and move into what the divine knows is the greater purpose beyond whatever we see. And so that's such a special thing to be able to do, to expand the field that we see. And so it goes into a whole different um, state of awareness. So your divine neutrality allows you to move into a different state of awareness where you know that there's a greater purpose, no matter what it looks like. God is in charge there. That you can invite divine light to come in and work in and through what appears to be happening in the world, to uplift the states of consciousness so that all people can feel this state of divine neutrality, to feel balanced in their lives, to feel love in their hearts, to acknowledge that love exists, that truth is greater than we can perceive from our limited human state, and to know that absolute, with absolute conviction, that the divine presence is there with us in every single moment, and we're not alone. We're never alone. And that our focus of attention in our minds allows that presence of divinity to bring us into what we need in order to feel in harmony with ourselves, at peace with the world, and at peace with our own path in life. So it's a brilliant opportunity now to spend time with yourself and spend time focusing on that ability to be neutral, and know that that is your most important timing for where we live right now in our world. Transformative time requires this transformational thought that is in harmony and neutral, so that we are not allowing our emotional states to run fear scenarios, that we actually know that there is a greater truth at hand, and we're not going to receive it from television or something, that it's not on the news. This is a greater purpose that we're being inspired and empowered to know in ourselves. So this divine intelligence, this opportunity is working through us to really change our lives through neutrality, through focusing our attention on grace, and asking that divine grace empower every moment of your life. And as I was driving across country, it was like safety, grace, and ease. That's what I was asking for. And I believe I had it. And this divine neutrality was essential, because my life was just turned upside down in a moment, and it stayed in upheaval for quite a long time, a couple of months. And it's just now coming into balance a little bit more. Um, grounded presence here, in a new place. So we all are moving into new places right now. Our transitions are, for the most part, internal. But this transition that is occurring in the world is real. It is in alignment with God. It's in alignment with this divinity that's able to transform the life into more light, more love, more gratitude. That's all happening, no matter what it looks like. So come back into your heart when you look at something that disturbs you, and remember that there is a greater purpose in all of that, that there is a divine plan, and that the presence that holds the stars in the sky can take care of our lives too. And so we have access to that. The spiritual resources are with us all the time, and we need to just open ourselves to receive them and allow it to happen, and do our best to stay neutral and take care of what our needs are first. And it's like that oxygen mask on the airplane. You take care of yourself so that you can help others, that you become a radiant lighthouse, that you are radiating love and courage and strength and harmony and peace on earth for all beings right now. And may it be so. And so it is. Yes, thank you, everyone. It's been just a lovely opportunity to interact with you. May you feel blessed in all that you're doing right now. It's so important. And if you want to continue working in transitional phase that we're in right now, this transformative time, you can, I'm going to be doing this every Saturday for the next 4 weeks, all through November. So you're welcome to join us for that. My website is shantagabriel.com, and you will be able to sign up for this series if it appeals to you. I'd love to have you work with us together as a group, because we are really as we work in this group, it strengthens our ability to connect on a deeper level. That's very, very powerful. So I invite you, and I thank you for being here today. God bless you all. Namaste.
Shanta, I'm going to stop the recording now,
Okay.
and then perhaps we can let people have a say if they want. How about that? Yeah.